So the biggest party of the summer has come and gone, and I think I can safely say that wasn't much of a party. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Ewan McQuaid, and today I'm talking about SummerSlam. I've watched SummerSlam, sorry this is coming a little bit late. I was a little bit hungover yesterday. So instead, I'm talking about it today, and I've had time to marinate my thoughts on the show as a whole. And my overall thoughts were, it was boring. It was so long and it was so boring, and I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with WWE, because for me personally, Money in the Bank was a great show. I really enjoyed Money in the Bank. And SummerSlam was set to be the sort of WrestleMania follow-up, if you will. And I think they dropped the ball massively on this show. Massively. So, to set this up, I am not a major WWE fan. I am more of an independent wrestling or AEW, whatever you want to call it, fan. But I enjoy WWE. I do. I think Money in the Bank was great. I thought WrestleMania was great. I thought the Royal Rumble was pretty great. I think they've done some good shows this year. However, SummerSlam was a dud. It really was. The more I've come to think about that, it didn't make sense. I didn't enjoy most of it. And I don't know why they chose to do some of these decisions. So I'm just going to go through some of the bits that I'll start with the bits that I did like. And for me, that's clutching at straws. There wasn't too much I fully enjoyed on this show. I thought Damien Priest vs Sheamus was probably the best match of the night. Up there with probably Edge and Rollins, but even to me, for some reason, Edge and Rollins, it kind of felt like they were wrestling in slow motion. It just felt really slow. And we'll get on to the main event, but yeah, those two matches were probably the highlights for me. Oh, and the Raw Women's Championship Triple Threat. That was probably my favourite match of the night, actually. Forgot about that one. Terrible build, really good match. And I think Charlotte winning was good. You know, I do. I genuinely think Charlotte winning's good. I'm not into Nikki Ash. But the rest of the show was just sort of bland. Like, even the opening match between RK Bro and AJ Styles and Omos, that could have been, like, a bit more monumental, but the finish was just fell flat for me. Just one RKO and AJ is done. Like, I feel like there needs to be more hot tags, more sort of, I don't know, tag team chemistry, but there wasn't much in that match, and that let me down because it's been the hottest thing in WWE. And then the Eva Marie Alexa Bliss stuff is bollocks, complete bollocks. So I'm just not going to talk about that in the slightest. But talk about I don't want to talk about Bianca Belair yet. We'll get to that. To try and think of, I just can't remember a lot of the things that happened on the show other than the big matches. Like, it was 4 hours long, and I'm struggling to come up with some of the other matches. Rey Mysterio and Dominic vs the Usos was okay, but we've seen it a million times. So, I'm just lost for words, because they are capable of putting on something enjoyable and good, but instead they decide to fill it with bollocks like a Shinsuke Nakamura music thing. Why? Is there any need for that? So let's talk about the big points. So let's get to the big points. Let's start with Bianca Belair. So going into this, it was supposed to be Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and there's a video package hyping the entire thing. Bianca comes down, and then I believe Greg Hamilton says, "Oh, Sasha Banks can't compete tonight." It's like, huh, okay. And then out comes Carmella. Apparently she's facing Bianca Belair. No, we get, I can't do it. I can't. Oh, that. Get a bit of Becky. Becky Lynch comes down to challenge Bianca Belair. Beats up Carmella a bit first. And so I was expecting them to have a competitive match here. Like, if Becky won, but had like a 10-15 minute match with Bianca, that's fine. But she squashed her. She squashed Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair has been built up since the Royal Rumble. I don't think she's lost. Not as far as I'm aware. And she just gets squashed immediately after. You know, immediately. Like, I get the whole replacement usually wins thing. I get that. But make it competitive. This was as bad as Kofi and Brock. Like, why would you do this? Why would you waste sort of 6 months of pretty good build? Like, Bianca feels like a top star. To me, personally, I love Bianca Belair. And this just sucked the air out of everything. Because I was like, why do I care if this is what's going to happen? Just for the sake of a swerve and a big moment for Becky to celebrate with the belt. I thought it was really dumb. Really dumb. And I don't see where Bianca goes from here, because I don't think she's going to get the title back from Lynch. So she's just going to slide back down. Yeah, it was terrible. It was really bad. And I hated it. Then we got the Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship, which was... I don't understand why they didn't just Paul Heyman this and have big move, big move, big move. Instead it's like Bobby's working over Goldberg's leg. Goldberg looked really bad in this as well. And it's like, come on. Keith Lee's right there. He's right there. Why couldn't we have had Bobby versus Keith? Instead we're getting Bobby versus Goldberg. And it was fine. It was what it was. The finish was dumb. Bobby kicked too much arse and hurt Goldberg's leg. So we went to a stoppage. It was... Why? It's just dumb. Just give us conclusive finishes, please. And then Goldberg's son, I guess, jumped Bobby Lashley from behind, choked him, and then Bobby got him in the hurt lock, made him pass out. That was nice enough, but that also signifies to me that somewhere down the line it's going to be Bobby versus Goldberg again, and that is something I do not want to see in the slightest. I just think there's so many better people who could be facing Bobby Lashley right now. I don't know if some are going to debut tomorrow night. Maybe we'll get an Adam Cole or something like that. But it's like you've got Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic on Raw, who could easily fight for that belt. Karrion Kross potentially as well. And these are all big guys that surely Vince would like, but apparently not. And I don't know what we're going to get after this. I've absolutely no idea. So, a little bit of intrigue for Raw. And then we'll talk about the main event, which was Roman Reigns versus John Cena for the Universal Championship. Now, I was really, really hyped for this match, because I really like the promos. I think the build has been okay. Roman's cool. John Cena, the issue I'm having with John Cena is that he doesn't seem to be affected by the Firefly Funhouse match. Like, that just didn't happen. It's not even referenced, which is annoying. Continuity. But I was like, okay, I'll let that wash over me and we'll get to the match. And I thought this match was boring. I thought this was the worst of the Roman Reigns type of matches. The worst of the Roman Reigns type of matches where they're very slow, very sort of plodding, and he, taunts the crowd, taunts Cena. It felt like it went on for ages at the beginning. It was really dragging. And I was like, oh no. Roman's thing's not working. And then it got into sort of a big move, which was nice enough, but it already sort of sucked the energy. It took a lot for me to get back into this match, and the only near fall I really bought was the top rope AA. Other than that, I was dead certain that Roman was retaining. So they got me a little bit there, but at the same time, it's John Cena versus Roman Reigns. It should have been better than it was, personally. Reigns has had way better matches this year. I thought his match with Edge was better. I thought his match with Cesaro was better. I thought the Triple Threat at WrestleMania was better. and it just felt flat. It was a flat match, and I don't see John Cena coming back anytime soon. I'd be shocked if he does. But then we got the big surprise at the end. Here's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes down, makes the eyes at Roman. Roman's like, no more. And Brock stands tall in the middle of the ring. So presumably we're getting Roman Brock with Paul Heyman caught in the middle. I personally think Brock should have come down after the Goldberg match. Maybe had the Goldberg match. He couldn't have it main event. But I think the more intriguing prospect for me is Brock versus Bobby. I've seen Roman a million times, and I get the dynamics have changed. Roman's a heel now, Brock's the face. But to me, I'm not really interested in this, particularly because it's probably going to happen in Saudi Arabia, and that's just dumb. We hate that. Hate it. So overall, I'll give the show 2 out of 5. I thought it was really bland, really boring, and not what I needed following the AEW Rampage stuff. I wanted a really good wrestling show. Maybe I'll get that with NXT TakeOver. I haven't watched that yet. I'm intrigued. But yeah, 2 out of 5 for SummerSlam, sadly. And that is it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Did you enjoy SummerSlam? Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.